The journey to love is really hard. And I mean love in general. The journey to love yourself, to love someone else, it's the hardest thing you're gonna face in your life, I think. Really accepting yourself and loving yourself, and then being able to do that with someone else, and letting yourself be loved. Letting yourself be loved is really hard. Cuz you more than anyone knows everything that's wrong about you. And you think that everyone can see it. You think that you're a clear piece of glass. When you're actually like one of those two-way glass, like mirror. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of those glass mirrors that you can see yourself, but then you don't see the other side. But then if someone's behind it, they can see you. You know what I'm talking about? The ones are like the sus target mirror double. Okay, anyways, yeah. That's how people actually see you. And let that sink in. What's the name for that? Wait, I need to find the name for that. Because that's a good. Wait. A one-way glass? Two-way mirror? Yes. A one-way glass. Okay. Okay, period. Okay. Everyone sees you not like a clear glass, like a transparent glass. You're a one-way glass. Okay, let's talk about that. When people see you, mostly they're just seeing a reflection of themselves in you. So whenever they throw something at you, the way you react to it, they'll be reacting to something internal in them. Because they always say that whatever triggers you is what you need healing from, when you need to heal from. Recently, I've been going through that myself, where someone imposed something onto me without realizing. They just did something that I realized in my past I've gone through that has caused me really great harm. And not because the thing, like what the action itself is harmful, but the way my mind kind of like formatted that action. So let's say your mind codes reactions to any type of actions around you. So let's say when someone is like, let's say they're usually not on their phone a lot because they're busy, they're working, whatever, and you're on your phone a lot. And you're one person that, like, if they text you, doesn't matter what you're doing, you're immediately gonna respond. But then there's some people that are more like, no, I'm busy, I'm in the present, like I'm not gonna use my phone as much. Um, and that's fine. Like I'm not gonna text you all day, probably. And then there's the problem where, like, if you're both not aligned, understanding that that's them and this is you, whatever it makes you feel is what you're gonna think is the reality of the action. Okay, let's walk with me. I'm gonna So let's say, yeah, for example, someone I'm talking to is not texting me. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Before, because of my past, I would think that no communication, like no texting or not texting often, means that there's something wrong, that there's like something has changed, and that I should panic and I did something wrong. And then I'm gonna try to find every way to tear myself down and make myself guilty as to why they're not texting me and it's all my fault. And then because that happened in my past, I'm going to take that to my next experience And immediately, as soon as they show that action, my brain is already formatted in that means that. So I'm gonna immediately impose that into this. So boom, now I'm using the mirror that they are, the one-way mirror, and seeing myself in it. So I'm imposing my feelings into their actions. So I'm like, okay, so if I think this, then that is true. And honestly, no, not necessarily. The person they are behind that one-way glass is not you. It's them. And sometimes we gotta understand that our past cannot predict or control our present or our future. Something I've been struggling with is understanding that sometimes if something that you might do or something that you might not do because you feel like it's not right or not entirely like um natural for you and someone else does it, that doesn't mean that it's something bad or something wrong. That's how they are. And maybe if you talk about it and you communicate instead of immediately reacting to it and pointing fingers, you can get to know who they are and be like, oh, I see. Okay. Sometimes we get lost in our emotions. And that happens to me quite a lot. More than I like to accept, honestly. Sometimes I kind of beat myself down because of it. But I take it more as like, I can feel a lot and I feel a lot. And I really think that's a blessing and can be a curse, but I think it's a blessing if used wisely. Because when you feel a lot, you can gain a lot of empathy. And gaining a lot of empathy immediately helps you understand people in another level. And that also brings me to the point where like sometimes understanding people too much, it's frustrating. Sometimes being too empathetic is frustrating because you never realize when you're being stepped on or you're actually being a nice person. You know? This is also my main struggle. I'm usually like, I feel a lot, I give a lot, I want to like do that for everyone. And then I end up being so empathetic that people can do things and I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, I understand where you're coming from. And then they just get used to doing that and me just understanding to the point that now I'm being stepped on. And the question is, when is being empathetic a negative thing or destructive? Is being too empathetic destructive? Honestly, good question. Because I don't know. What I'm realizing is I gotta trust, and you gotta trust the CEO. We gotta trust time. We gotta trust time because time will find a way to give you penance and then give you a reward after you completed it. And I've realized that because sometimes I want to push time. I want to um, get the clock ticking and like just go. I want to do this. I want to get it done with. I want to get it over with. Like I need it to happen now. And I get so consumed in that thought of like I want it to happen now, and I get too impulsive. And when I do things, life is like nope. Time is like nope, and throws some stuff at me, and then tests me, and is like and that's when you have like really bad days or like things that go wrong or that don't go your way. It's usually life like yo, I said no. I said pay with patience. Patience. It's all about just being patient and letting time do its job. Literally, its job is to take care of shit for you and you trusting it. And if you break the contract of trusting it, it'll penalize you. Is that even a word? Am I saying penalty? Yeah, penalize. Okay. That's his job. It's let me handle my shit. Let me be nervous. Let you be calm. And I never answered the question. Is being empathetic destructive? I guess no. I guess being empathetic honestly is beautiful. Because if you're empathetic with someone else, you're also empathetic to yourself. And I feel like the hardest thing is to be empathetic with yourself. And I feel like you can only allow yourself to be empathetic with someone else once you've figured out how to be empathetic with yourself. Because again, it's like the saying that everyone says, you can't love someone before loving yourself. You need to learn how to love yourself before loving someone else. And it's true. Because if you're empathetic with yourself, you're gonna forgive your mistakes. You're gonna take it easy on yourself. And you're also gonna choose what's right for you and understand what's coming in and coming out. And therefore, you're gonna naturally have a filter for grace, for peace within yourself. And when you're empathetic to other people, you also learn a lot. And that's something I've also been learning. I've been trying to push myself to learn the things I knew I had to learn and heal from, but learning them is the hardest thing. It's the most uncomfortable thing to do because you need to pay with patience and tears. That happens. Usually patience, I would say patience is the dollars, the cents are the tears and emotions. You pay, let's say you pay $42.59, 42 patience and 59 cries. Thanks. 42 hours of patience, 59 crying sessions. I don't know what I'm saying. But you get what I mean. Right now I'm going through something in my life where I'm letting time do its thing, where I try to go against it and I felt the punishment, and then I was confused as to why I was so in my head about this thing. And then I realized, like, literally I just have to be patient. So I'm being a crybaby. I'm being like, when kids start like being impatient, they just start screaming and crying. You're like, bro, you're not gonna get anything by crying. It's literally that. You're not gonna get anything if you disobey. What parents teach you since you're born is like, be a good listener. Be a good listener. Be a good listener. Listen to time. Listen to life. Listen to God. Listen to whoever is talking to you in your head. Bro, wipe my hair up. Oh. Listen. When you're a good listener, you're gonna get it your way. If you're being a crybaby and you're throwing tantrums and going against the listening, you're not gonna get dessert tonight. You're not gonna get dessert after dinner. You're gonna go to bed. You're gonna go to bed early. You're not gonna have a play date. You're not gonna go to the park. So it's a matter of being a good listener. And honestly, something that has really helped me in big decisions or like big moments in my life where I'm like, I feel out of control because I'm too emotional, I try to go back to square one. When I mean going back to square one, I mean like think of yourself as a kid. Imagine you are a kid. Imagine you are being parented right now by yourself and talk to yourself like you're a kid. Like I babysit part-time and I've learned so much just from being with the kids because I learned how to parent, but how also like how emotions come so naturally because emotions come from like sometimes we can't comprehend why we're feeling some way. I feel like emotions are a reflection of sometimes like not being able to comprehend like especially negative emotions. I think it's like you're not able to comprehend what is going on. Like if you're sad, it's like, I can't comprehend the situation. You're devastated, you know? And then if you're scared, you can't comprehend like what is going on and like what's gonna happen. Like you can't understand that. And you're angry, you can't comprehend the actions. You don't understand. And it's just like natural emotions out of defense. And that's the most natural thing you can do, but it's also the most like childish thing you can do. And childish, I don't mean in a negative connotation. I mean like we naturally are children. We are all children. We all carry a child inside of us. And if we don't empathize with that child and we don't heal or nurture that child, they're never going to be able to grow in you and like become you. Does that make sense? Because if you keep the child there, you're just going to, if you don't heal the child, you're going to be the child. I don't know, like, bro, what am I saying? Where was I going with this? Okay, no, I was going to say being with around children has taught me like how emotions are processed and how you should process emotions. Because when they react, when they're angry or they're like, they are scared, they just start screaming and crying. And then the more you scream at them to stop or like threaten them, the more they will keep crying and screaming. And that's the same thing. When you're feeling beat down, like when you're feeling beat, when you're down, when you feel horrible about yourself, when you literally hate everything about yourself, and you keep being like, stop crying, stand up, stop crying, like, stop crying. You're just gonna keep bottling up. You're gonna keep bottling up and shoving down all those tears back to the bottle, back to that child, and one day they'll explode and you'll explode. And that's when we do impulsive or destructive things to ourselves, or we have patterns and behaviors we can't change. It's all because we don't heal and we don't nurture that inner child that's inside of us that is provoking these emotions, or just our emotions. Like today, I had to cry. I had to cry. I didn't know why. I just knew that I had to, and that it was an ugly cry. And I let out everything that I was feeling. And as I was saying it out loud, I realized like, why am I crying? Like it wasn't bad. All of what I was doing was just going about the thing rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds in my head when it literally wasn't even a reality. I was just picturing, like I was just imagining things and then crying about them. It's like kids do, you know? It's like how they just imagine like, oh, there's a monster there, oh, they're scared now. It's not real. They're still gonna be scared. Like I saw this kid at the park, she was just screaming because she saw a mosquito like flying around. Like she's scared to death for mosquitoes. Where did she learn that mosquitoes were like deadly? And I don't mean, shut up, I mean like mosquito, una mosca, a bug, like the bigger ones that don't bite, they just like fly. You know that. She was scared of that, and it's because she was just picturing this in her head. That's like a dinosaur monster dragon that like wants to eat her, and she's now super scared. But it's not true. But she will not know that that's not true if there isn't an adult next to her reminding it to her. That's why we need to have a dynamic within ourselves that is like a child and an adult, a child and a parent. Our emotions, I would say, place them in the child. We need to feel our emotions in a really childish manner where we let ourselves cry out, we let ourselves be happy, we let ourselves be loving. We feel, we just go all out with it. But then we always need to have a parent next to us reminding us that it's gonna be fine, that it's not true, that, hey, be a good listener, stand up, it's okay, you're okay, you're okay. I realized that as a parent, your job is to be like the children's conscience, and like you're installing a type of brain activity in the child. Like you are serving as the voice they will use for the rest of their lives. Like if a kid scrapes their knee and sees blood, if a parent starts like, no, no, panic, panic, no, the kid immediately will start. All you gotta do is, as a parent, calm down and be like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. No, it happens, it happens. That happened to me too. You're gonna be fine. It's just, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And you let the child scream, cry, because they're scared. It's the first time like experiencing something like that, or like they're seeing blood, they're freaking out. But if you keep them calm and you don't panic, immediately they will reflect that at you. It's a one-way glass again. They will, but the children, the thing is that the children are creating the person that they are behind the one-way glass. So whatever you reflect to them is what they will like get and pick to create whoever is behind that glass. So whenever you're not reacting towards their behaviors in like a childish manner, but you're being an adult to them, they will create that adult version of themselves inside of you. They will like inside of them, they will create that person that's behind the glass, the one-way glass. They will start kind of like naturally adapting that mindset where it's like, I'm gonna feel it, but then I'm gonna calm myself down because it's okay. And some adults don't even have that. And like that happened to me. Like sometimes I would cry and like feel horrible about myself and like hate myself. And then I would never hear my adult inside of me being like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I usually just focus on the screaming, crying baby in my mind. That's all I can hear, all I can hear, all I can hear. And it's exhausting. And when you hear it for too much, the adult is like, you know what? I give up. I give up. Like, okay, go cry. I'm going to go to my room. Sometimes adults do that. Valid. But we always, like, adults always have to come back to that child to nurture them. That's the job of a parent. I feel like you got to parent yourself. You got to just take yourself by the hand and see you. And it actually helps seeing like a picture of yourself as a kid. I think like if you do this might really help. Wherever you go, that's like your safe space to cry, or like sometimes the bathroom or your room or like a corner of your room, whatever. Look for a picture of yourself when you were a kid and put it up in the wall and look at her or him or whatever, and just tell them, hey, you're gonna be fine. You're okay. It's okay to cry it out. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel frustrated. But it's not gonna be like that all the time. That's just today. That's just this moment, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be okay. And I was saying that actually looking to a picture of myself as a kid. I kind of needed that. I feel like every day I just keep shedding skin. Like, like a snake sheds skin and it's like a new era. Every time I something bad happens and I learn a lesson, I feel like I shed skin. Or not even bad, I just keep learning. It's like shedding skin. It's like the growing pains. I think shedding skin is painful, bro. Do snakes feel pain when they shed skin? They have to, no? Or is it satisfying? I don't know. I feel like shedding skin is necessary, but it also hurts. Growing hurts. especially if you're doing it in a really, really fast timeline. But the only way to grow is with time and and unfortunately feeling uncomfortable. The only way you can grow is through uncomfortability. That's not a discomfort. You cannot grow in comfort. And that's why sometimes, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but sometimes having people around you that push you to be better, and sometimes they say things that like trigger things in you and like just bother you, but because you know they're right, those people are necessary to have around and ideal to have around because they will push you to your discomfort of growth. And of course, yes, we do need the people that make us feel comfortable, but those are not the people that we're going to grow with. Those are the people we can escape with and enjoy the present with, but not the people we're going to need to grow. And that's why I think choosing your people around you, or even your partner, is really important in that way. It has to be someone that is not entirely like, oh, they're just so hot. They do everything that I like. They do me. They're like such like a, they're so down bad for me. They won't do anything. They just follow everything I say. You're playing yourself at the end of the day. You're you're in a superficial relationship that's one-sided because they're doing everything for you. You're not going to grow. You're not going to learn. You're just going to keep a cycle of your own patterns because someone is feeding them. I mean, good for you if it works for both. But I believe that if you really want a successful, accomplished, and fulfilled life, you're going to need someone around you that's pushing you to grow. That's why they say that they need to inspire you to be better and they need to push you to be better. I never understood what that meant because I was like, you inspire me to be better? Like, what? Do you make me want to, like, buy you flowers? Yeah. Hell yeah. Make me want to be better. No. Like, do they tell me, like, no, you should do this? It's like you can't inspire someone to be better or to do something just by talking. You need to act. You need to have someone around you that's doing the things that are uncomfortable for you and doing them with such grace that they inspire you to want to do it. You got to pick wisely. Because you also got to pick the traits that trigger you at some point. Like that you need healing from. And you need to pick someone who is really good at those and that they have qualities that you want to acquire. And sometimes they might feel uncomfortable at the beginning. Sometimes they might be like, oh, why is this happening? Like, are you mistreating me? Is that a red flag? Is that a what? No, it's not. It's you watching your red flags being reflected back at you. It's a one-way glass. You're not seeing them behind the mirror. You're seeing yourself. And what triggers you is what needs healing. If they're doing something that you've been saying to yourself that you know you need to do, but it's uncomfortable to do, so you prefer to be in the comfort of not doing it, and you're getting angry at them because they're doing it to you, it's not a problem of them. It's not a problem of theirs. It's you not being able to do what you wanted to do. Then projecting that onto them by being like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? No, 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 no. How are you doing that? You gotta pick someone who has those qualities that you don't have and you wish you have, but also have patience and have the same level of empathy or maybe more than you have in order to help each other get there. Because picking a partner requires a lot of patience as well. Because at the end of the day, you pick a player too. You pick like a witness to your life. You pick someone who is going to be the one who is feeding you knowledge and challenges to go through life in the best way possible. You need to pick someone who's like, yeah, this person, we're gonna win this thing if we're together because they have this and I have that, and then they have this that I don't have, and I have this that they don't have, and then we're gonna share that knowledge with each other and teach each other, and then we're gonna be really good all around. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be about like, oh, because they're hot, we're gonna be like competing for who's hot. Bro, that's not gonna take you anywhere. At the end of the day, looks fade. Thanks. You're gonna be ugly and dumb and old because you didn't grow. So, on the other hand, if you pick someone who's, I always say this is like has to be the visual representation of a relationship or two people. So, okay. Let's say this is you and this is someone you're talking to, whatever. You can't always be like this. You can't be the same in everything. Like their faults and your faults can't be the same, and your strengths and their strengths shouldn't be the same because you're gonna do this. This fall. Because you're gonna do this. It should be their strengths are my faults and my strengths are their faults. So we do this. And now we're a barrier. Now nothing can get through this barrier. Nothing can get through this wall. So if you leave gaps in the wall, water's gonna come in the dam. You gotta build a dam. And that's why I feel like you should always think about people that are like really like-minded, that see the life in through the same lens that you do, but has covered grounds that are different that you have covered in order to bring different perspectives to the table, different strengths to the table, and then complement each other to build a really strong barrier with no holes. Because imagine, like, my whole life, I've seen life in this angle, in like left. And then this other person has seen life through this angle, on my right. And then we see each other and we're like, look, right now I have a space here. Then I meet someone and we're suddenly two. Oh, we're covering the whole ground. We're covering everything. I saw this, you're seeing that, and now like I'm gonna tell you about this and you're gonna tell me about that, and then we're gonna complement and then we're gonna cover the whole thing. And now we're gonna be here. No one's gonna get through us. Am I talking shit? Like what am I do you understand what I'm saying? Bro. Sometimes I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. But ultimately, growing is uncomfortable. And having someone reflect back at you or like put back at you the things that you need healing from, whether it's direct or indirectly, is necessary for life and for growth and to heal. And that's something I've learned. Because sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's unfair. That is not unfair. It might be to you, but it's necessary for you to grow. And the only way you can grow is through discomfort. So whether you like it or not, time will do its thing and it's going to make you pay. And the best way to not get a punishment is just paying. It's like taxes. Time taxes you. Time taxes you. Time comes and claims the taxes. So you better have patience. You better pay every year. In this time. Time doesn't have time. You know what I mean? Whatever. Talking out of my ass. I don't even know if I should have posted. I was just talking out of my ass. I'm going to post it, whatever. Buster syndrome. But yeah, I would just say, remember, you are a one-way glass mirror. And everyone you see is a one-way glass mirror. You're going to just see yourself and reflections of yourself in everyone. And you need to see if you're actually seeing who's behind the glass or just immediately reacting to your reflection. So try and maybe look through the glass. Look who's actually there, not just you. Don't just date yourself. Don't just look at yourself. Look through. Get there. Connect. And protect that inner child. Nurture it. It. Nurture them. Take care of them. Talk things through with them. Remind them that they're going to be okay. Remember, the time is the CEO of your company, not you, girl. Anyways. Bye. Love you. Ciao.